So we say a very special good morning to all of our viewers who are connected to the live at this moment. We are here in front of the Parliament building where we have one woman, Mrs. Rosie Felix, where she's staging a lone protest action, day 3, for the resignation of the Attorney General, Mr. Levi Peter. And this is regarding in terms of recent comments where Mr. Levi Peter last week Wednesday referred to the opposition nominee for president as a drumstick. Of course, we heard from Mr. Peters, who said that his comment was taken out of context. But for the past week, Mrs. Felix and a few others, they have joined on the streets, and they're saying that they're demanding the resignation for Mr. Levi Peter. And we have Miss Felix here today. Of course, a very rainy morning, but she's out on the street and she's saying that she is calling for his resignation. And even if she has to stand alone, she's saying that she's willing to stand alone this morning.
Levi must go.
So very soon we'll use the opportunity to speak to Mrs. Felix to find out as to her reason for standing alone. Of course, we heard from the Prime Minister of Dominica who addressed this comment. So we'll use the opportunity to speak to her and find out the reason why she decides to stage this lone protest action today. Of course, a very rainy morning here in Dominica.
Levi must go. Levi must go. Levi must go. Levi must go.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, Miss Felix.
Levi bound to go. Levi must go.
So I say a very special good morning to you this morning, Miss Felix.
Good morning, Diana. Good morning.
Okay, and you are here this morning. The lone individual, like you said to me earlier on, Rosa Parks did it alone, and you're willing to stand alone this morning. Can you just tell me the reason why you decided this morning to come out in the rain, a very rainy morning, come out and to stage your lone protest action this morning? We understand that it's day 3.
Yes, sorry about that.
No problem.
Yes, it is day 3, and you asked why I decided to come out in the rain. And stand in front of the Parliament. If you notice, I'm standing in front of the Parliament of Dominica, an honorable space, supposed to be. But 9 days ago, in this very House of Parliament, a very dishonorable minister denigrated a former parliamentarian. First of all, let me address the question, why did I come out in the rain? Guess what? The wicked don't take a holiday. The rain doesn't stop the wicked from doing their wickedness. So that's why I'm here. My Rosa Parks Women. Of course, the weather messed up folks, but we are here. But I am here and you are here to take the message. So 9 days ago in this very parliament, 2 Palinago women were nominated, who had been nominated before, of course. An election took place for a president. And the government's nominee, Mrs. Sylvanie Burton, unanimously won the vote, and she's now the new president of Dominica. I congratulate you, Madam President. But the dishonorable Levi Peter, he was supposed to be giving congratulatory remarks, but he chose, in addition to his congratulatory remarks, to give derogatory remarks to the opposition's nominee. The opposition nominee happened to be another Palinago woman, as I said, Mrs. Annette Sanford, and he referred to her as a drumstick. Now, you are aware that he has since done something that I did a so-called apology, which is started by justifying his action. But somewhere in his derogatory remarks, he said that if he were in a different forum, he would have used stronger language. Tell me, Dominica, is that an apology? When you had planned it, it was well calculated that you would launch this attack. So that's why I'm standing for women, because Mrs. Sanford doesn't only represent herself. She represents all the women of Dominica, and all the women of Dominica, we represent Ma Domi. Mr. Levi Peter must go. Levi Peter must resign. Levi Peter must resign. Levi Peter must resign. Levi Peter must resign.
How do you?
Levi Peter, yes.
I know. How do you respond to the comments we heard from Prime Minister Roosevelt carried, basically saying that it's time to move on from the matter, and saying that from the opposition end it's hypocritical in a sense that you all don't speak out when it's members from the Dominica Labour Party side, however you all speak out when it's the opposition side. How do you respond to such comments?
Well, you're right, in the sense that there's a lot of abuse of women going on, but in the parliament, the highest, when the Attorney General, remember Mr. Levi Peter, and I didn't say that, he is the Attorney General of Dominica, the legal man. So when you go to the House of Parliament and you launch a psychological attack on a woman, are we saying, or is he saying that he has put his seal, has he legalized psychological violence of women? Of course, well, we can't chase. The Prime Minister would know that you can't fight every battle. So there are some battles we've got to fight. And this is one. This is the last time a parliamentarian degrade a woman in parliament. It must stop. It must stop. He got to go.
Okay, and but you all are calling for the resignation. I understand that throughout the past week there have been others joining your call. However, the Prime Minister, the head of government, he's saying that he has accepted the apology. So right now, in terms of being out here on the streets, some will say that it's a futile work. Being here, the Attorney General, he's not going to go. So you all are just wasting your time. What would you say to that?
Never mind. The Attorney General has already resigned. It is just not yet manifested here. We haven't seen the manifestation. It has happened.
It has happened.
It has happened.
It has.
It has happened. He has to go. He has to go. In addition, I'm calling on the Minister for Gender Affairs, Dr. Cassandra Williams, to condemn the statement. I'm calling also on Madam President to condemn the statement. She hasn't done that. So where are we going? Yes, futile. We've done very far. And as soon as we leave the issues, yes, okay, you may say it's futile. Let them say, but in my books, it is not a futile work. Mr. Levi Peter has to be made to pay for this attack on the Kalina women.
Okay, so we have Miss Rosie Felix here standing today saying that she is demanding the resignation of Attorney General Mr. Levi Peter for the comment made for the opposition nominee for president, and at Sanford referring to her as a drumstick. Of course, we heard from Mr. Peters earlier this week who said that his comments were taken out of context. We heard from the Prime Minister basically saying that it's time to move on from the matter and highlighting that when it's members from his side, protests like these are not taking place. So we are hearing from Miss Rosie Felix saying that she intends on staying there. Miss Felix, can you highlight to our viewers how long you intend on continuing on this action that you've started on Monday?
No comment.
No comment as to how long?
Comment.
Okay.
Levi must go. Levi must go. Levi must go. Levi must go.
Miss Felix, as it pertains to support, you are here today on your own. Are you appealing to other Dominicans who are viewing Women Advocate Men? Are you appealing to other Dominicans to come out and support you with your action today and moving forward?
Well, the call has gone out. The call has gone out a long time. And there's something people must learn. They're saying, when your neighbor house catches fire, wet your own. If you don't go out, when people are attacked, you don't go out to support them. When it is your turn to be attacked, people wouldn't come out to help you. People won't come out to support you. I've seen that over and over. People, and if it's fear, people need to put fear under their feet. People need to put fear behind their back, because fear don't win nothing. Fear don't get us anywhere. Fear don't take us to success. It doesn't take us to victory. It just takes us to depression. You understand me? So I'm standing. It's not the first time I'm standing for a sister nurse. It's not the first time I'm standing for an abused woman. It's not the first time. So I decide when I stand. I can't stand for everything, but I'm standing today. And I'm encouraging Dominica, because psychological violence, the whole nation has been subjected to psychological violence and other violence from the Roosevelt Party government. So yesterday a police, for example, told me, we just want tranquility. How can we have tranquility and peace when you continuously abuse? You get the point. Levi has to go.
Okay. And Miss Felix, you're making it clear that
Levi has to go.
I'm sorry, you're making it clear that whether or not on either side had the comments been made from the opposition side, you would have been here standing
Yes,
up.
Of course, in parliament, of course I would. No parliamentarian. In fact, the Prime Minister is boasting he has the most female parliamentarians. That's a fact. But how do you protect them? How do you stand for them? You get the point. It's just not acceptable. I would like to know, what is the threshold? When do we draw the line for disrespect in the parliament? And I'm also calling on Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Joseph Isaac. You, many times I've watched you as members to withdraw for many things less than that. And you sat there and you said nothing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm calling on you to bring the member back to parliament and have him withdraw his drumstick attack. You get that, Mr. Speaker? Levi got to go.
And if, let's say, within the end of the week or within the next 2 weeks or so you see no action, do you have anything else in mind that you plan to do on doing?
Levi got to go.
You don't want to disclose that at this time.
Levi got to go.
So of course, to those who just be viewing the live or joining this live brought to you by Dominica News Online at the moment, we are here in front of the Parliament building with Miss Rosie Felix, and she started this lone action early on this week calling for the resignation of Attorney General Mr. Levi Peter, who referred to the opposition nominee for President, Mrs. Annette Sanford, as a drumstick in Parliament last week Wednesday. And of course, we've seen a number of organizations come out and condemn this statement. So Mrs. Felix is standing here saying that it's time that he resigns. Of course, Prime Minister Roosevelt addressed the situation and said that it's time to move on from it. He highlighted that the hypocrisy, if I can use that word, in the matter, saying that when it's the government side, we don't see protest actions like this taking place, or actions or calls like these taking place. So of course, we're just standing here, and Miss Felix is saying that she's the lone Rosa Parks in Dominica.
Levi must go. Levi got to go. Levi got to go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go. Levi must 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 go.
And of course, like we're hearing from Miss Felix, she's not going to report as to where she intends on having her different action. And is it daily? Tomorrow, do you have anything in store? Would you mind disclosing it? Do you want to say anything at all?
No, we won't disclose our venue, but we will continue. We will continue, as I said. And anybody wants to join the cause, they can get in touch with me. I've given my number over and over again. So good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for watching now. Levi must
Do you want to give your number on the live for those who would like to contact you to join?
617-0833.
Okay, 617-0833. You're urged if you would like to join this action, which we're understanding will be taking place, that you can go ahead and contact this number, contact Mrs. Felix to find out about the action that she's hosting.
Levi got to go. 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 Levi must 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 go. Levi bound to go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go. Levi must go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go.
Good morning, sir. You mind giving your views on what's happening here this morning? Okay, so we see Miss Rosie Felix standing here calling for the resignation of the Attorney General. In terms, I'm not sure if you heard the comments last week referring to the. You heard the comments. What do you think, Miss Rosie Felix standing here, the lone individual? What do you make of this? Yes. Do you think it's a good feat? What do you think? It's a good move. Yeah. Would you come out and join her in this call for the resignation of the Attorney General?
Well, not today.
Not today. Okay. Okay, no problem. Have yourself a good morning. Okay.
Levi must go. Levi bound to go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go. Levi must go. Levi bound to go.
Okay.
Levi must go.
So of course, Miss Felix, before we go ahead and end the live, do you have any parting word that you would like to say this morning?
Levi must go. Levi bound to go.
Okay. So I guess this.
Yes.
Before we end the live, do you have any parting words that you would like to say this morning? Anything you would like to urge the Dominican public to Mr. Peter, if he's able to hear, the Prime Minister, anybody, any parting words from you today?
If we're people who are serious about respecting women, the Prime Minister would sack. If he was serious about respecting women in Parliament, he would sack the AG. And if the AG have any conscience, knowing fully well he came out to insult Mrs. Sanford, he gave us a bluff apology, his heart, he should resign. And Dominica, we've abused in so many ways. And we're lying down and taking abuse. We're lying down and taking abuse. And we're giving excuses. We're giving excuses for us not to stand up. But one of these days, it will either be too late, or if we decide to really stand up, we'll be victorious. Dominica, most of us, if not all of us, refer to Dominica as a woman, Madame. And Madame, so many people bawling, their hand on their head, economic woes, social woes, political woes. That's Madame that's bawling and being abused. And they sit and they cry and they do nothing. One of those days. All I want, you ask earlier, why do I stand alone? That's okay. Let the record show I stand alone. That's all right. I have no issues with this. I said Rosa Parks stood alone. But we must make impact. We must let the record show. And these days with internet, everything is recorded online. Before internet, limited things were what people wanted was recorded in the books. Now with internet, everything recorded, and this is recorded. And most importantly, The Lord is on the side of those who stand for justice, and He's on my side, and that's enough.
Okay, so here we have the words from Mrs. Rosie Felix, who is standing here with her lone protest action, calling for the resignation of the Attorney General, Mr. Levi Peter, and of course she's saying that she intends on continuing this action for as long as she has to, until Mr. Peter resigned from the office as Attorney General. So of course this live brought to you by Dominica News Online. We thank you so very much for viewing this live this morning. And of course Ms. Felix, she's saying that they're now disclosing their next location, and she's urging everyone to give her a call if you would like to join the action. So wherever you are, we thank you for viewing. Do have yourself a good day.